Hey guys, welcome to the ace match between FXO.Tear and SlayerS.Arthus. The score is tied up 2-2 right now in this ace match. It is a BO5, hence the score being 2-2. Arthur won the first two games with a little bit of mind games, and then FXO.Tear just decided to cheese it up, do a double gateway proxy in the natural of Arthur. Arthur ended up scouting it, but just responded incorrectly after scouting it on a 13 gate. We'll see exactly what happens this game. Game number 4 was won by Tear as well, and that was one with macro play. At least in this series, I'm going to call that macro play because Tear did expand around the 8-minute mark, and Arthur hasn't really wanted to expand at all. Both players are going to be building their 9 pylons, not scouting, which means they trust each other to not be cannon rushing, because if you scout after 9 pylon, that's generally what you're looking for, is some type of cannon rush. Going into the Nexus Energy, we do see 40 versus 40, so both players going to be chrono boosting right after that one pylon finishes. Yes, they do. So everything is very standard right now. Now the question is, will Tear go for a 12 or 13 gate? We've seen him do both. We've only seen Arthur go for 13 gate, and after the 13 gate, he generally does end up scouting. Another chrono boost is going off on Arthur's Nexus and also on Tear's Nexus. Both players are throwing down the gateways at the same exact time, and we do have Tear going up to scout around his base, and Arthur doing the same thing. He scouted in this area, but he didn't scout on the southern side of his base like Tear is doing. So Tear scouts all around his base, and now will he scout the natural? We do see Arthur poked around here, didn't go all the way down here, so there still could be small proxies. Tear, though, just going to be returning back to his base, so he may be favoring that 3-stalker pushed out, or maybe 2 Zealot 2-stalker. Just scout with a little bit of aggression, while Arthur is going to do his probe scout to see exactly how he should respond to this. Still only one gas, but the energy has been used on the Nexus, so if he does scout this, he is going to know it is not going to be a 4-gate, most likely. We do have that one gateway finishing. The sub-next word just now starts. This probe is in the base, and now his goal is just to stay alive, see if you can see the third gas, or the second gas, I mean, not the third gas, but the third pylon and the second gas. Those are the main things the probe is looking for. We do have a little bit of a delayed scout after the sub and next. We're on Korhal compounds, I believe. If you do that, then you still get in before the stalker, so you still get a lot of good information with this probe. One may argue it's actually better to scout after the sub next with the probe, just because you're going to get in, see all the information that you want to see. If anything's proxied, you will most likely lose the game. But you can see the probe gets in here as the stalker starts, so he has time to go around the entire base, count the workers, see what's going on, see the gas. If he wants to click on both gas, you can see the gas timings, see the Nexus energy, and now he is going to be leaving the base. We do have Arthur with the probe going up in the top, and one thing that was a little interesting is the probe for Arthur went around here. He took an abnormal scout pattern, while this probe just went straight down the middle because he had to if he wanted to get in before the stalker came out. So I'm not sure exactly why the probe took an abnormal scout location, like scout path, if he planned on doing proxy or something. But yeah, just a little bit interesting. Maybe he was just looking for any type of proxy gates that were in this area. But if that was the case, you think it may be on this side. But who knows why he scouted it that odd way. We do have a pylon being built by FXO.Tear over in the bottom right. And SlayerS.Arthus will most likely do the same thing, or maybe just use this as a delayed scout. Most likely there will be a pylon to do a forward pylon, use warpins. We do have one gate out with the Twilight Council on this. A lot of energy on this Nexus, and the probe probably did see the Nexus stacking energy. The delayed scout does get taken out. The pylon is up, and since I'm assuming the probe saw a lot of energy on this Nexus, he knows it's not going to be DT play. But he is going to go 2-gate robo anyways, just to play it extra safe. 2 stalkers moving on around the map, and they will be taking out this one probe. And yes, the probe does go down. We have the third stalker coming in, and this stalker taking a lot of damage. The second stalker for Arthur does show up, but the 2 stalkers for Tear show up at the same time, and Arthur has to retreat, not taking any loss there from any players. But we do have Arthur with some actual loss on that HP, and that is never good on those 2 stalkers. More stalkers come out. They're just going to go over the high ground, try to get any free volleys on these stalkers, and immediately Tear does pull on back. He does have 2 stalkers moving out on across, and we do have the Nexus being built for Tear at the 6-minute and 30-second mark. Observer is coming out from Tear as well, and that is a really early expansion. So Tear is just saying, okay, as long as I can get my Expo up, I will be safe. And he did get the scout in on the base. Again, saw the one gate, saw the gas, saw the energy on the Nexus, so maybe that was enough to tell him. He's not using it on a sub next core, so it's most likely going to be used on Blink, so he gets Blink and Warp Gates around the same time. And maybe that's why he went for this early expand with this 2-gate Robo. But he did go Observer first, so I'm assuming he thought the possibility of DT was there. But he is getting Immortals out now. Get 2 Immortals. Once he has these 2 Immortals, it's going to be very hard for these Blink Stalkers to do any damage. We do have a forward pylon coming out from SlayerS.Arthus, but Immortals do really well against Stalkers. The thing he has to worry about are the Blink Stalkers somehow bypassing this army. There is no robotics up for SlayerS.Arthus, so he doesn't have Observer to blink up on this high ground, so he's going to have to do something through this front door. But if the sentries get a force field down as the Stalkers blink, that will be absolutely devastating. We can go into this. No damage done to each other yet, except killing off each other's scouting workers. And we'll see how this does go. A big aggressive blink, tugging down the Immortal, but the second Immortal does pop out. This Stalker caught off in the back, can't really do anything. Now 2 Stalkers can't do anything, but they do end up blinking, picking off that second. No, they don't get the second Immortal. Nice force field goes down, nice micro back. Probes have been pulled, losing some probes, going into the units lost now. We do have SlayerS.Arthus with losing a lot more than that. Did kill off the Immortal. This one is very injured. He pick off this Immortal. That will be very nice. But I don't know if he will end up getting that Immortal. Is way off in the back. Needs to juggle that down. Did not click on that. Clicked on a Stalker instead. And now that Hardened Shields is getting up to be in relatively good health. And the second Immortal is coming out. If any point Tear does end up getting 3 Immortals out, then Arthur will be falling severely far behind, as these Blink Stalkers just will not be working anymore. They're going to be trying to take out this Nexus, but Tear is just playing this as cool as possible. Like, you know what? Nexus is not taking any HP damage. I'm just getting my Immortals up to the 3 count. Very nice blinking by SlayerS.Arthus. But Tear does have that Immortal count up to 2, almost 3. And with 3 Immortals, I think you just one volley Stalkers down, so there will be severe losses on every probe. We can see that SlayerS.Arthus has started evening up the units lost. And that is also a very good thing. Turning down that injured Immortal, takes it out, and will be blinking on back. Going back into that is still very relatively even. However, we don't have any Expo by SlayerS.Arthus. The one probe is hanging down by here. It looks like he does want to expand. And FXO.Tear just putting on pressure. We do have a Zealot on his way over, and that will be a delayed scout, and also probably kill off quite a bit of probes. You have that one Stalker blinking, going back into this lost. You can see that Tear is actually starting to fall behind, as Arthur now has pretty much evened up the units lost down to a worker differential, but it is 24 probes to the 30 probes, so even if it is even, Tear has a better economy than Arthur. So he is going to have a larger army. As you do see, 58 supply to 73 supply. It is just impressive that he is doing a relatively good job. Zealot does come in here, does get 3 kills. Will he go 4? No. Does not get the 4th kill, as we do see these Stalkers still just trying to do what they can. Up to 5 workers killed for Tear, and going into the lost tab, you can see he has now lost more than Arthur, but again, he has the better economy, especially after killing those 3 workers at 21 probes to 32 probes. And these 3 Immortals just taking small amounts of damage. Very nice job from SlayerS.Arthus doing damage to the Immortals, then blinking back, using the full shield. The force fields go down. He's going to be turning down these Immortals. Needs to get them down. There are 4 Immortals, and that is a lot of Immortals versus these Stalkers. The army supply is going heavily into Tear's favor right now, as we do see 27 to 18. This Immortal, though, just with, I don't know, just hanging off in the back. Would have done a lot more damage if he was firing, but it's looking very good for Tear right now. We do have this one Immortal getting focused down, and he will be backing on off, and there goes the GG, realizing he could not do anything anymore. Very well played out of FXO.Tear, just going on 2 bases and saying, you know what, I'm just going to defend you. That's all I'm going to do, just defend. If I defend you, I will win. He will be going on to play either FXO Whale or Xenix Life. Be sure to check out that ZVZ series, and also come back to the channel tomorrow to find out who's going to win between FXO.Tear and those Zergs. That will be the finals. We will be casting the finals Korean Weekly tomorrow. Please, please, please subscribe. That would be very beneficial to me. And again, leave any comments about the casting on the channel. I read everything. I may not respond to everything because I read it on my phone, like at work or when I'm doing something and I come home and forget to reply. So sorry if I don't reply, but I do read them all. So yeah, take care, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.